on, guys? Just out for my Sunday long run. It's a little wintry if you haven't noticed. I'm just trekking through some like untouched pathway. For the most part, the city is pretty good about clearing the paths, but today this section's untouched, so I'm just kind of plowing through this, and I'll pick up running here in a second. But just want to drop in. It's super cold today. It's minus 15. Not that I'm complaining, but yeah, I'm complaining. I hate it here. In the wintertime, makes it really tough to train. I think I was supposed to be Costa Rican by birth, but somehow I landed in Alberta, Canada, so winter running. But anyways, I'm at the tail end of sort of some recovery, unstructured running for the last couple months after running the Lost Soul 100K. And I'm now about 7 months, 28 weeks away from the Lost Soul 200 miler that I was drawn for next June 2025. So this video this week, what I want to do is just give you a sense of some of the logistical planning that I'm learning about and trying to figure out as I prepare for that 200. And the way I kind of see it, it's almost like getting married. You know, when you set your wedding date, you've got all these kind of big things to plan out, and then once you get to the wedding day, it's like lots and lots of logistics on race day, but there's still lots for me to get figured out, training, planning, all those kind of things. So what I wanted to document this week was just some of the bigger things I'm working on right now and getting prepared for that. So I'm gonna finish my run up here, a bit of a long run today, and then I'll head inside and walk you through what I'm up to. All right, just finished 20K is where we got in today, so not a bad day out there actually. So gonna head inside now, thaw out, and keep going with the conversation here on Tahoe prep. All right, so I'm back inside. I'm showered off, thawed out. Wanted to spend a few minutes this week giving you a sense of some of the bigger things that I'm working on right now in my training, and a lot of it's preparation for the Tahoe 200, which I mentioned is about 7 months away today, which really is not that far away. And so there's some bigger things that I need to take care of so that I'm really ready when it comes race time. And as I mentioned in the past in some of my other videos, is that I've definitely got limited ultra marathon trail running experience, so there's a big learning curve. I've been a road marathoner for a lot of years. I've started to make the transition, and what I'm learning is there's a lot of things that I need to learn and understand, and so this is really important going into a 200 miler, which is ridiculous, is to make sure that I have all the logistics covered as much as I can possibly have covered and sort of planned out will be the most important thing, and putting a really good team around me is going to be critical. So there's a few things at this stage of the game that I've been working on and thinking through and setting up, and so I wanted to give you a sense of that, starting with the first one, and that is coaching. I have never had a ultra training coach, ultra marathon coach, trail running coach. I've had a road marathon coach years ago that I used to work with. I've actually helped other athletes build training programs, so I've got a bit of familiarity with, you know, training and some of those types of things, but in the ultra training space, very limited experience. Definitely feel like there's a learning curve there, and so I wanted to make sure that I had the best support I could to do a couple things. And so on this, I went to the CTS website, which is a website where there's a sort of a collection of different coaches, and you go onto their website and you fill out a questionnaire, tell them a little bit about yourself, your training, the races that you're planning, and what your goals are, and it partners you up and pairs you up with 2 or 3 different coaches, and it sets up a free consultation, like a 15-minute phone call with these coaches. Gives you the opportunity to have a conversation, see if there's a match, learn about their coaching style, see if there's a good sort of match between the two of you, and lets you pick the coach based on sort of what their experience is, what you're looking for, and your style and their style. The CTS plan has different sort of levels of coaching packages that you can get. So I met with 3 different coaches, all 3 of which were awesome. I could have gone either way, but I ended up I'm going to be working with a lady by the name of Sarah Scozzero. She is, sounds like an amazing match for me. She's ran the Western States, Leadville, Bigfoot. She even ran the Lost Soul in the 100K in Lethbridge, Alberta, which is I'm going to be doing that at the end of next year. So that was really cool for me as well. And she's worked with NFL teams, tons of different runners and different events. And so she's also transitioned from road marathoning to ultra trails. So I felt like that was a really good fit. So I really enjoyed meeting with her. So I'm going to be starting training starting in December. On the 1st of December is when my official training program kicks in with Sarah. So I'm really excited to see that, because from a coaching perspective, I'm looking for a couple things. One is the structured training plan and all those things that you need and the right workouts and sort of just that physical preparation. But the other big piece that I'm really excited to have the support on is the logistics on race day and some of the strategies and things to consider. As you guys know, there's so many things to think about in these long ultra races. And so I really don't want to go into Tahoe and just try and figure it out on my own or have a plan. I'm really looking forward to the support of a coach. So I'm excited for that as well. So she's going to help sort of build that. She's going to help me with my crew and make sure that I've got all the logistics planned out and be ready when it comes race day. So that's the first thing that I've been taking care of, is the coaching. With the CTS coaching, they put you on the Training Peaks paid platform. So I'll be uploading all my workouts to that platform, working with her through that. Also, I get every 2 weeks, I'll have a call with my coach. And so I'm really excited to have that support as I move through my training for quite a few months now, almost a year or so, I would say. I've been training on my own, using some of the things that I know, but I know I have a lot to learn. So number one was coaching, making sure I've got that ironed out. And so I'm excited to tell you that I have Coach Sarah now on my team, and she'll be supporting me through all the way until September of next year. So getting ready for Tahoe and then going out to the Lost Soul. I'm going back to the Lost Soul for a 3rd time. If you watched the video I shared earlier, I ran the Lost Soul this past September and DNF there thanks to the heat. And so I still have a bit of a bone to pick with that course. So I'm going to go back. She knows the course. Really excited to go back once and for all and get that next year in 2025 as well. So that's the first thing. On the second piece that I'm just starting to think about now and get my head around and start preparing for is there's a mandatory gear list that you get from the Tahoe 200 website. You get the race runners package. There's a massive list of mandatory gear that you have to have before the race day, the day before. When you check in, you have to show them that you have all those things in your pack, and they will check you throughout the race. As I've gone through that, I have a lot of it, but there's a lot of things on that list that I don't typically have or carry or run with. So there's a lot of that preparation that I want to make sure. I've shared with you in the past, the watch that I use is a Sunto 9. I'm really considering changing to a Coros watch, and I'm going to look for something like that potentially, because part of that will be, obviously having the ability to put your maps into your device and have the tracking and stuff like that, and also have a battery that'll last long enough to get me through 200 miles. So there's a lot of gear I need to be thinking about, getting ready to have in my bag and things like that. And even just carrying that much extra weight is something I'm gonna have to work through. So I've downloaded the running package through the website. There's a lot of things to know and a lot of things you have to have. And so that's something that I'm working on as well. That's the second thing. The third thing that I'm still working on right now, and I would love your advice, your feedback, your comments. If you've used pacers before, typically I run by myself when I train, when I race. I'm the guy in a race that typically doesn't like to talk to people. It's not because I'm rude. I just tend to stay in my little world. And so I'm not used to running with other people, or I tend not to do that. And I know that's going to be critical for me, especially in this race. So one of the things I need to secure and start thinking about right now is pacers, especially to get me through those night stretches on the race. So I'm going to be looking for some pacers to help. I know on the Tahoe 200, the Destination Trail website, they have a couple links to places where you can look for pacers, maybe folks in the local area. I think they have a Facebook page as well, where you can try and find pacers. I don't have a lot of fellow runners or people in my close sort of friend circle that could step into that gap for me. So I need to find some pacers. That's something I'm working on right now. And I think like a coach, You also have to find pacers that are going to be the right match for you. Because I think for some people, you want that person that's going to be, really going to kick you in the butt, going to be that, give you that tough love, tell you to suck it up, and those types of things. And there's some people that maybe like a bit of a gentler person, or just someone that's a little bit more quiet, maybe just sort of keeps to themselves. Maybe you want someone that's sort of a jokester and keeps the mood light, or you know what I mean? So it's really important that you pick good pacers. And so that's something for myself. I'm working on that now. If you have any advice or any places that, have you used pacers in the past? I'd love to hear that, because that's something that's going to be some new territory for me. So I'm still looking for pacers. Hey, do you want to come down to Tahoe and pace me for a couple nights through some of the darkest moments of my run? Let me know in the comments, or share any feedback you have on pacers. And then the last thing I'm working on right now is just the travel and logistics of getting here. I'm up in Alberta, Canada. The race obviously is down in Nevada, so it's in Lake Tahoe. And so lots of logistics to plan out. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to have part of my crew is going to be driving down with a SUV, taking all my gear, taking all the big stuff. I'm going to fly down. I'm going to rent a Sprinter van, so I'll have a couple vehicles down there. So lots of good opportunities to sort of store things, have a couple crews going, even having an opportunity to use one of those vehicles or both for sleeping, in addition to the sleep stations that they have on the course. It looks like this year that they're going to do the out and back again on the Tahoe 200. In years past, there was the full loop around Lake Tahoe, but because of some of the fires and some of the challenges they've had to move it back to a out and back style course. So that's going to be likely what's going to happen again in 2025, is we'll do 100 miles out, 100 miles back. And so that's going to be some things to think about. So I've been working through that. I'll end up flying into Sacramento, renting my vehicle, driving to Lake Tahoe, have a couple different crew cars going there. So I'm starting to set that piece up as well, to make sure I've got my crew all set up, everything we need, where are we going to stop, make sure I have a bit of a plan around that. And so those are some of the bigger things that I'm working on right now, in addition to obviously training. As I mentioned, I'm just kind of coming out of this recovery cycle post Lost Soul Ultra. I've been just relaxed running for the last couple months. December 1st, we kick into the full training program, so I'll share that as I go. But that's where I'm at this stage right now. So I'm excited to move into this next sort of training block. A lot of work. As I showed you today, it's getting snowy and cold here, so it's going to be some pretty tough running for the next few months, and then transition into spring and get ready for the Tahoe in end of June. So it's June the 13th is when that race starts, so not that far off. So that's what's going on for me in my training right now. I just wanted to share you with a quick update on those things. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate that. I'd love it if you'd like, subscribe, share the video. Again, as I've shared in the past, that my whole goal here is just to share my journey into ultra training, ultra marathoning. Each week I post a video. I have daily videos as well. They're more of a pep talk. So if that's something that you're interested in, check out some of my shorts. But thanks for watching. I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Take her easy.